Welcome back to Season 2, everybody. Yahoo! The recording for this one, something's up with the video. I haven't tried to render it yet. A bunch of individual frames are missing. So if the video keeps, blacking out if you're watching it, I don't know, the recording was a little corrupted, so I'm sorry about that. As always, The Monkees may be a children's show from the 60s, but the Monkeepod is an adult, cool swearing and drinking show from 2026. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to the Monkeepod, a Monkees recap podcast. My name is Sommer.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Molly.
Today we have a Season 2, Episode 1, It's a Nice Place to Visit. We're back, baby. It's Season 2. It's my favorite season out of all the competition that there is of this long program. And the historical background for the premise. I just kind of wanted to know where we were at with Mexico at this time politically for some context, because as our closest country, I mean, Canada is also the same distance from America, but you know what I mean. It's been a relationship, and I found that until the current administration, we were doing pretty good. Mexico and America have had, in general, a kind of more friendly relationship, and in the 60s, we were diplomatic. There was, some treaty that passed in 64 to resolve a boundary dispute, where the U.S. gave Mexico some territory. But the history of, Mexico and America relations goes back to, when we took, half their shit. Yeah. For example, Texas used to be Mexico, yeah. And now it is the birthplace of a Michael. Mom, do you remember what perceptions of Mexico were like in your childhood?
No.
You didn't think about it?
What was on TV.
Okay, so this was kind of what you were getting.
This is what Mexico was.
Yeah. It's a nice place to visit. I find that interesting because the title of the episode comes from it's a nice place to visit, but I don't want to live there.
I wouldn't want to live there, yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to live there? Because I hear nowadays, as in the Sex and the City movie, when on the honeymoon that Carrie paid for on her credit card that Big then didn't, he blew her off at their wedding, and then she had to go all by herself with her friends. Charlotte didn't want to drink the water in Mexico because she's lost.
that was what we were told.
Okay.
Not to drink the water.
Yes, I have heard this about Mexico.
I'm trying to think what the perception is. I mean, I know people that vacation in Mexico, and I don't know anybody who's gone to live in Mexico. Though there are companies that have places in Mexico, so people.
I guess that's kind of because of the perception, as we see in this episode, that it's crime is high there, right. Because people are the cartels and stuff. Right. Which is how it's transformed from the rather old-fashioned notion of banditos.
Yes, banditos.
roaming gangs.
It's practically a Western.
Yeah. That is another thing. In a lot of forms, in a lot of different Monkey episodes, they're really just playing cowboys and Indians.
There's a lot of Westerns.
Yeah. One more thing I found in my research is that they invented a type of burrito in the 60s, a Tex-Mex burrito called the Mission Burrito, which is that fat burrito that you get at Mexican restaurants with all the sauce on it, or something. So that's where we were at in the 60s.
Inventing new burritos.
Yeah. You want to know something? Burritos were not even something that was a thing on the East Coast until the 80s.
That's interesting.
I grew up because I remember watching Bad News Bears, and they had a burrito. They were eating a burrito, and we were like, what is that? We had no idea what a burrito was. And that was weird. In the 70s.
That's crazy.
It was fast food for them. And we had never heard of it.
They had them in California, though.
Yeah, they had them in California.
The Monkees were eating hella burritos. This episode was directed by James Frawley. It was written by Treva Silverman, our woman writer. Thanks so much, Treva.
Representation.
Yeah. It was broadcast 33rd on September 11th, 1967. It was filmed in May and June that year, so it was after their break.
Right.
But it was during the first chunk of the season 2 episodes.
Okay.
As you can see that Micky still has straight hair for the episode proper chunks.
Right.
We're gonna get into kind of the like changes that season 2 has brought about.
Hair inconsistencies.
All right, I guess we should hop into the episode.
Okay.
So the Monkey Mobile has broken down in El Monotono, Mexico. Welcome back to season 2. Have a racism. We're here.
Right. To
be fair, I will say there is a little more substance to this one than just like haha stereotype exists.
Right.
Like overall, like the jokes aren't necessarily all rooted in racism. Racism occurs, but the joke isn't. Look, we're pretending to be another race, like monkey.
Yeah, it's more of a setting. The villains are still kind of bad, but
they're pretty bad.
Yeah, but there's some other things to enjoy here. It's not painful to get through like Monkey's Charmaine.
Speaking of setting, I said the Monkey Mobile is broken down on the Mexican set.
Yeah,
like, it looks which could have been the Western. set.
It's their Wild West set, and they put some like Mexican blankets around.
Said, even a guy sleeping under his hat next to in front of a cart of goods for sale.
Yeah,
and the cacti look way fake.
Yeah,
they had some cute tumbleweeds.
They did.
I like that.
The tumbleweeds were going. They also have a sign that says "Yankee Go Home," which TBH fair. I would like to point out our boys. Mike looks beautiful. This is the first appearance of the button hat.
The button hat.
His hat.
The buttons.
His hat has grown an 8-button panel to match their shirts, which I think is funny because it's like he's transforming into a more cartoonized version of himself. It's like very literal, like Flanderization. Plus, his big ear is out for Selena, and he has giant sideburns. This is not the peak growth of Mike's sideburns, but they're getting there.
I said his sideburns take up half his face.
I said he kind of needs a haircut, but it's okay. He still looks good.
Yeah, they get worse. There's a point like later on in the season where the back point of his sideburn goes like to under his ear. They're very aggressive. And Mickey's hair is still straightened, but it's like slicked back.
Yeah. It's like longer and it's slicked back.
Free him. And Peter's wearing the blue cloud shirt.
Davy's hair is short.
Yes.
And he's very tan, and he has his nose is sunburned. Like he just came back from somewhere, and he was out on the beach getting burnt.
And he's wearing like a prison shirt.
Yeah.
They all look so odd and old. Like that was my first comment.
They've aged. They've gone through it. They were on tour, and that aged them deeply. This version of Davy is what we like to call on Twitter Apple Davy. Because he looks like an apple, because his head is so round and his skin is so like red, like like coppery.
Yes.
So Mike suggests that they Yankee go in to the cantina, which according to the sign they speak English in there, which is lucky for these monkeys because I know that they don't speak Spanish.
They speak no Spanish. They look shiny and very overproduced. Like everything looks overproduced.
Mm-hmm. They might have changed like camera and lighting setups between seasons.
That's just what that's kind of the idea I got, or I was wondering if it had gotten somehow
higher budget. I don't think they got more money.
When it had gotten reprocessed, whatever we were looking at.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's all the same like DVD rips, but like they could have had something on the production end where it went up.
Right.
I'm not sure though. Inside this lovely cantina, the monkeys see a table with a bunch of chairs stacked on top of it and decide that's the table they're going to sit at. And I thought my theory for this is maybe as like kind of poor boys who have had a lot of different jobs, they have like waiter instinct. Like, you know, when you work some type of like job and then you go into the type of place that your job is and you feel the instinct to do your job.
Yeah. It's like, you know what's going on behind the scenes. You're like anticipating.
Like
I was at the pool the other day in Las Vegas, and I was telling children not to run.
Yeah, she's a lifeguard. Yeah. And like when I go to other movie theaters, I feel entitled to their soda machine for free. The monkeys are stupid. They don't have object permanence. So Mike misses his chair and he sits on the floor.
I said they are unable to figure out how to operate chairs.
Yeah.
Because like one falls and then the other one gets up to help and they fall.
Yeah.
It's a big...
They've all been lobotomized between seasons, and now their stupid level has gone down, so now they're all kind of operating at season 1 Peter baseline, and then Peter's even lower than that. So in this cantina, we have some Mexican characters.
They said they found some brown people.
Yeah, well, they found a white man and they put bronzer and a fake scar on him.
No, I'm sorry. Actually, my brown people were the townspeople.
Oh, yeah. The extras are always diverse. The extras are always diverse.
But God forbid they give them actual lines or characters.
True. Yeah, so we have a threatening man sitting at the bar, and our waitress, Angelita, who might actually be Latina. I couldn't figure it out. She doesn't have a Wikipedia page, and IMDb didn't say.
What was her name?
Her name...
Which could have been anglicized.
Yeah. Cynthia Hull. So that's not...
Yeah.
Probably not. Who's to say?
Who's to say? She's definitely putting on an accent. If they couldn't find, like, one Latina woman in LA, that's on them.
Yeah.
So, and her dad is the bartender, and he appears to be genuinely Mexican. So good for him.
Good for him.
Question mark. To his bandmate's chagrin, Davy instantly falls in love with Angelita.
Yes.
And then he English-splains her own name to her. Every woman's dream.
That means...
That means little angel. Yes, Davy, I know that.
I'm aware.
And then she asks him, what does David mean?
But she didn't say...
he says, my name's David.
Oh.
And she's like, oh, what does David mean? And then Mike's like, David means business, baby.
No, yeah, business, baby, I'm sorry.
They have David in Spanish. It's a Bible name, and it's a Catholic country.
Yes.
It means David, okay? I think she knows what it means. Assuming that Mexican women are uninformed, Davy, he asks her to go for a walk. Which
Micky gives Davy shit for asking her to go for a walk. Because it's going for a walk. That went out with Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney movies.
Mom, these days we get blasted on acid and have unprotected sex. So you can't do lame stuff anymore. You have to do fun stuff. Yeah, Angelita is not sure. Because she is already in a relationship with a 40-year-old gang leader. I thought she's supposed to be a teenager, but I don't know. It's just how we roll here.
I just have to say, when this guy turns around and he's like, El Diablo says so, blah, 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 I thought that guy was El Diablo until the real one pulled up.
The real one is less scary than this guy. His like the Scarface guy that's sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
He's got a big scar. He's got kind of like a scary looking face.
So I was like, surely that's El Diablo.
Yeah, I thought that was
El Diablo. And also
he's
like kind of like maybe plausibly young enough to date Angelita. No,
yeah.
El Diablo isn't here yet, though. It's just his threatening henchman who throws a knife at the monkeys. So they wisely decide to leave. But kindly, before they leave, they stack their chairs up again.
On there.
But then they also knock them over.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Here we come. Yes, let's get into the season 2 intro sequence.
New intro.
Yay!
My first thing is this opening I remember better than the other one.
Yeah.
This is the one I remember.
Because it has the walking thing.
Yeah.
Where they cross each other's legs when they walk.
Some footage from the first season, some we haven't seen yet, like the bed and biking into the water.
Those were all shot during season 1, though, if you look at like their clothes and hair.
Right, but I don't, them pushing around that bed.
That's a season 1 thing.
The bed looks familiar.
But was it in an episode?
I think it was in like a romp for like 1 second. They're in their season 1 pajamas, though. It's definitely old footage.
And then there's concert footage, and and I said, why does it say Peter after everybody's picture?
I love that bit. Yeah. I said, we're all Peter.
It's very funny. So my understanding of maybe not why they did this, but Peter tells a story where like when he was getting really like frustrated at the end of season 2 and like trying to like leave and stuff, Bob was trying to like placate him and being like, Peter, look, you're in the intro sequence the most out of anyone, as if that fucking means anything, as if that's like something he would care about. Okay. So maybe that's why, to placate him. But it's because he's the dummy, and everyone always he's a sad sack, and he always thinks it's his turn, but it's not.
I was just so confused. I'm like, oh, they put the wrong. Wait, they put it wrong again.
Everybody is Peter.
Everybody's Peter.
We are all Peter. Going back to the fact that most of them are like season 1 clips, the walking thing, they're definitely like that was shot around season 1. I wonder why they never used that clip anywhere else before.
Right. That was definitely because they're wearing their beach jacket and shorts.
Yeah.
So, but I've never seen.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever saw and then the bed, and then they have the bathtub too.
The bed and the bathtub are like in a romp in season one, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
The walking is not anywhere else, which then that would become one of their things that they do.
Right.
I guess because children in the 60s and 70s loved to do a little physical gag.
We used to do that all the time.
Uh-huh.
We would do that. We would sing monkey song, and we would just cross our feet as we walked.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have known it would have been so iconic that they left out of season 1?
There's a clip of them doing it in like the 80s or 90s when they're all old, and it's like, oh, they're doing the walking, and then they split up and like awkwardly walk away from each other back to their own cars.
They hated it.
Yeah. And at the very end of the intro sequence, we get 2 seconds of the Rainbow Room footage. Yay!
A little taste of what's to come.
I'm so excited. I love the Rainbow Room. We'll talk more about that once we get to the music videos in this episode. But I believe that little shot of Rainbow Room is the first time you see curly hair Micky. Mm-hmm. And it's so relaxing to see him with curly hair.
True form.
It makes me feel so comfortable. I was uncomfortable before, and now I am comfortable now that his hair is curled. So after the intro sequence, the monkeys return to the mobile to find that the local mechanic has disassembled the whole motor, and that it will cost them $14.95 American dollars to fix it. And they are, of course, flabbergasted at this request, which means they went to a foreign country carrying no money.
No money.
How are they going to pay when they sat down at the restaurant just then?
They drove into the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. They make poor decisions often.
Yes. I said, let Micky wear his glasses, or some sunglasses at least, because he's doing nothing but squinting. Complete, like he can't see anything.
Let him get his curly bangs down, and then maybe he'll be shaded.
And everyone is overacting.
They're acting extremely well. What are you talking about? Pop, as I'm calling him, because there's always an old man named Pop, Angelita's dad. He agrees to let the monkeys play at the restaurant to make some money. And then we hard cut to the middle of What Am I Doing Hanging Around, which we're going to see the full music video for that later. But it's still the music video footage that they shot months later where Micky's hair is curly and like their shirts aren't tucked in and Mike has no hat.
Yeah.
And they're allegedly playing it in universe, right?
Yeah.
And yet 3 seconds later, these details change.
The humidity got to Micky's hair, is what I'm saying. But like it's weird because they shot it in some blank room months later, but you can tell they tried to kind of like blend it with the episode because they kind of try to set up the stage to look similar.
They set up stage, but they're not standing on the same part of the stage when they cut to it. They're wearing different shirts. They are wearing blue, like 8-button shirts, but if you look at them, they're a different shade of blue. Yeah. They're not the same shirt.
And they could not make Mike put that damn hat back on. Like
and Micky's hair is like
no time to straighten it.
Yeah. There was no continuity editor. They thought it was okay because they hung the little blanket in the corner, so it's the same thing.
It's the same place.
So it's Mexico.
Yeah, come on, guys, it's Mexico.
But they also don't show them playing with anybody near them. They only show them like on the stage. Right. And there's a whole bar full of people dancing and enjoying the music, but none of them, you can't see them.
Never in the same shot.
It's more effort than like the circus episode when they were like, oh no, welcome to the monkeys who are at the circus, cut to them in suits in a purple room. So they've tried a little, at least. When they're done playing, suddenly Mike has a hat on and Micky has straight hair. Okay. So Pop hands the monkeys a stack of money and says, all right, gringos, play until you can't play anymore and then keep playing. But they're already done playing. Maybe you shouldn't have paid them yet because they're immediately to stop playing. And they're ready to leave because they have their money. But Davy accidentally glances at Angelita again. Fuck! And the monkeys are like, okay, you can just say goodbye. And as he's like walking away to go say goodbye to her, Mike is like, no, say it with your eyes. But Davy instead kisses her directly on the mouth. Yeah. Second conversation with her, by the way.
And then they like don't come apart for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, Angelita, then she tells Davy she doesn't really want to be El Diablo's girl, but she has no choice. And then Davy says, I understand. It's best we don't see each other again. and then kisses her directly on the mouth again. First of all, does David mean psycho mixed messages? Second of all, she just told you she's like in a relationship against her will, and you're like, oh, I get it. Bye. That's real chivalrous, David. You don't want to try and help her out. Terrible. El Diablo's gang busts in, and all patrons scatter in fear while Davy Lita, which is their new ship name, they keep making out completely unbothered.
By anything.
I think they are a good couple because they are the same height.
I was going to say, she's a good height for him.
I have that from the very beginning, that she was the same height as him.
Yeah. They don't normally get girls that are short enough for him. So we meet the real El Diablo.
Oh, that's El Diablo.
Yeah. He's a large 40-year-old white man with too much bronzer.
And bright blue eyes.
Yes, and they keep zooming in on his eyeballs so that you know. And to be threatening to Davy, who's stealing his girl, he like shoots at his feet to make him dance.
With unlimited bullets. And he also calls him gringo again. And look, as a certified gringo, I know gringo is not really that offensive, but like they would never say that in a kid's show today, so it will continue to be hilarious to me. While he is shooting at Davy, the monkeys are making very stupid faces of fear. And Angelita only appears mildly concerned. I think she's getting like the ick from watching Davy do this, because I would get the ick. Yeah, because he's so goofy. Like, he just keeps smiling no matter what happens to him.
Yeah.
Like, everything's a joke.
He's not very realistically afraid.
Yeah. The monkeys are like... there's some more specific points where I point this out. But in season 2, they do not care anymore about making the show like realistic or verisimilitudistic. They are fully like out of it in any situation they're in, much like the Beatles in Help.
Yeah, I've clocked Davy like fully breaking character many times in this next group of episodes.
But Davy's acting also in this. Davy's scared season 2 acting. He makes a lot of like noises and like going like, oh, like Davy just likes to make loud noises and then otherwise smile blankly. El Diablo says, look, Angelita, look at this bouncing puppet you choose over El Diablo. You know what? That would give me the ick. But she still wants Davy. She still wants that Muppet. And in fact, she says that she loves him, who she met an hour ago. And Davy has no loyalty, so he immediately ditches Angelita. And El Diablo tells Davy to beg for his life, and he immediately does it with a smile on his face, and also the rest of the monkeys do too.
They all do too. I was like, oh, they're all jumping in.
Yeah. I love that they characterize them in season 2 as huge cowards because they're like Shaggy maxing. It's really funny. Shaggy owes everything to the monkeys. This still doesn't give Angelita the ick. And in fact, she starts describing how hot all of Davy's facial features are, like, to El Diablo while Davy's like trying to disprove it live.
Yeah.
He's pointing a gun at him and has in fact shot at him several times. Does she want him dead?
Maybe she did.
Maybe she did. Maybe she's tired of him. Despite holding him at gunpoint and expressing willingness to shoot him right now, El Diablo instead decides to kidnap Davy and take him to his bandito camp. Yeah. In a super close-up where you can see his blue eyes.
Which isn't band camp, though it sounds like it.
No.
It's different.
It's bandito camp.
It's different than band camp.
It's where the banditos go.
It's Mexican band camp.
Yeah. At Mexican band camp. El Diablo says, you will be taken by horseback to the bandito camp. If you try to resist, you will suffer indescribable torture. And then Davy says, if I don't resist, and then he says, describable torture. That was kind of funny. Okay.
Except then Davy went, ooh, made some face.
Yeah. He's hilarious. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Micky tries to hype up the town people to like start a mob against the banditos.
It's very reminiscent of the circus episode.
Yeah. They put Peter like in the crowd shot, like in a hat.
Wearing a hat. It was a good bit.
To try to blend in. But this does not work. The town is not hyped because they do not want to deal with the criminal gang that has just shot up the floor of this exact restaurant.
Well, like he left.
Which is fair. So we cut to the other monkeys perched on the fountain. Mike is like squatted up with his legs up like a little birdie, and like his posture is so weird.
And dressed in the clothes that they drove into town in.
Why did they have like a change? I guess they were performing, so they had to wear their 8 buttons. But
why did they have no money?
Why did they Where were they going? What is happening? They just had to go to Mexico for this episode.
They were driving through Mexico.
Yeah. So little birdie Mike says, in order to rescue Davy, we're going to have to go there. And then they shadow realm into Mexican outfits. I wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't go there.
And by there, he meant cultural appropriation.
Yeah. Micky says, badges, we don't need no stinking badges. Direct to camera with a laugh track.
Which is...
I looked it up.
I did too. But I've been saying it my whole life.
But you don't know where it's from?
Not originally. I know why I know it.
Why do you know it?
Blazing Saddles.
Oh, okay.
They do it in
Blazing Saddles? Okay.
They do it a lot. A lot of places do it. A lot, it's one of those lines that just get repeated, or whether they do it in Blazing Saddles. Yeah. But it is from
It is from The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, 1948. Right. But that's not how it goes in the original movie. It goes, I don't have to show you any stinking badges in the original movie. Apparently the Monkey Mobile has been fixed by this point. Yeah. So they decide to pull up to the Bandito camp in their bright red car with their name on it.
Right.
Genius. So they come in, hooting and hollering, shooting guns.
Well, they walk through some long weeds.
Yes. The monkeys, especially Micky in this episode, are having too much fun playing bandits and participating in the racism. And I would like to say gently with love in my heart, stop it. Get some help. Like, they're all doing accents. Stop it.
I'm not Mike.
Get some help. Mike is...
There's a moment where he slips into Texan. He's doing it, and then all of a sudden it's like his Western voice.
I guess I said can't do the accent. I guess he was trying.
No, he was trying, but, it's kind of the same region. So they all introduce their bandit selves to El Diablo.
Well, El Diablo was the bandit without a heart.
Yes. So then Micky is El Delenzio, the bandit without a soul. And Mike is El Nesmito, also known as the bandit without any conscience. Like, he stumbles over it.
And poor Peter.
Peter is El Torco, the bandit without a nickname. Aww. Peter and Micky have, like, stupid giant sombreros, but Mike's hat is normal size. Why didn't you get
Maybe Mike has a big head.
Maybe, yeah. Mike is extremely particular about his hats and his hat options and hat wear, and he had to have a classy hat. El Diablo says the monkeys must pass his tests in order to join his gang. But beware if you fail. The last man who failed, he was found in a ditch. He was shot, knifed, poisoned, and killed, and then they all repeat that, and they say shot, knifed, poisoned, and then Micky says, and kill? He pronounces it so weird that I don't even know if he's trying to do, like, a Mexican accent or what. And kill, and then they try to do, like, the thing where, like, you spin the gun, and Peter is the only one who can do it.
Yes. And Mike says, "That's good. I didn't know you could do that. You usually play the dummy."
Why would that affect your ability to spin the gun?
I don't know.
Well, Mike just had to hate on Peter.
Mike was just mean.
Mike just had to hate on Peter. By the way, Davy has been tied to a tree this whole time. There's like 2 shots of it in the whole episode. Davy is tied to a tree this whole time. So now we get to El Diablo's tests of the monkeys. So Mike has to arm wrestle him. For this, El Diablo has his hat off, and he looks extra white without his hat on. and also, like, Mike
Is he, like, blonde?
He has, yeah. Well,
he's probably blonde.
Yeah.
They just put some...
And he has that, like, furry vest on that, like, the Russian spy had when he dressed cool. So he just kind of looks like that, In this arm wrestling, Mike objectively loses, by the way. It just so happens that El Diablo hits himself with the board as he wins and knocks himself out. So I guess that's victory conditions. Yeah. So he passed that test. The next test, they're in the tent, smoking cigars, which makes Micky's mustache glue melt off. And Peter plays cards against El Diablo while holding but not smoking a cigar, because they get to be bad boys as a treat in this one, and flirt with drugs and alcohol.
And the cards they're playing is, in fact, Go Fish.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Micky asked for exposition, so he must have asked what's going on or something.
Peter, like, chews on a diamond or something in this scene. I think it was like a gemstone. I slowed it down a bunch of times to try and see what it was. It didn't make any sense.
I don't remember
He put a crunchy rock in his mouth to prove that he's tough and good at Go Fish, I guess. Micky's challenge is to play knife fight while holding rope with El Diablo. And the other monkeys help, ? This scene was confusing enough that they needed to add in like a dub of Mike going, "Cut the rope, Mick," while his mouth is completely not moving.
And I said, I don't know how he can see anything through those squinty eyes. How is he literally is the entire show, he's squinting. His eyes completely closed, Mickey.
Get him some glasses, please.
Get him his glasses.
I wonder if the set was outside or not, because
I think it
must be real sunlight that they're
but he was so squinted.
Yeah. Maybe that's his like Mexican face.
I don't know. It was really bad. I was like, how can he even see what he's doing?
It's not his fault that he has a flat profile and his eyebrows do not properly protect his eyes from the sun. Okay. Now that the monkeys have passed these tests and they're in the gang, they join them for a bread and emoji fruit feast. It's like a table with like a bowl of like a banana and apple, like how Mexican bandits eat. And El Diablo offers them wine. But the monkeys, they're like, "Oh, we don't drink wine."
They're clean-cut boys.
El Diablo with the peer pressure.
Yeah.
He's like, you must drink wine.
Yeah, just say no, kids, okay? Don't do it. So then they all throw their shots of wine over their shoulder, because they're good boys. Peter wanders off to find Davy. And El Diablo says, "Hey, where does that one go?" And Mike says, he goes to get some fresh air. And El Diablo says, "But we are outside." That's tea, El Diablo. Clock them.
They do another toast and they smash their glasses instead of drinking.
Yeah. Peter finds the where Davy's tied up to the tree, and there's this hot guy guarding it. Hot extra. That's a man that Lucas would approve of. Yeah. Lucas was always telling me before that he wanted to be on the Mexico episode. R.I.P. But that's because he wanted to see all the hot Latinos, and I'm like, baby, there are no hot Latinos. It's white guys in brown face. I'm sorry, except for this guard who doesn't speak. But Peter says to him
in Spanglish,
"Buenos dias, el gardo. Como va? Yo guardero el prisionero usted of o pardio." Now this gives vibes of my lovely manager, Ed, who is like a grandpa to me, who I love so much. He has a lot of great quotes. One of my favorite Ed quotes is that he says all the time is, "I'm at the tail end of my career and the tail is wagging." Another thing, though, he said to the porter of the movie theater, who is like, speaks Spanish, he was trying to get him to like use a broom or something, and he was like, the El Sweepo. And we were like, "Hey, good, El Sweepo." Oh. And no!
How'd you even think that was right?
El Sweepo.
Oh, no.
I don't know. But that's the vibes of what Peter says right now. And then he finally convinces the guard to leave by being like, "There's booze," which seems racist.
But which is the one word he understood.
Hooray. And there's a beautiful romantic Jork reunion where Davy at first doesn't recognize Peter.
Those Shadow Realm costumes are so good.
They're really good. But he lifts the corner of his mustache so that he knows it's him. And then they fall into each other's arms, sobbing each other's names because they are in true Jork love.
Jork is real.
Jork is real. I see the scene in so many Jork edits, and which means that Peter is dressed Mexican in like half of the Jork edits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Peter tries to untie Davy from this tree, but Davy knows more about knots than him, and he has to like coach him through it, which
including pulling his hand out to show him how it works, and then putting his hand back.
Very rude. It's like the mini game in. Remember the computer game I had with like the fishes?
What did you have to do in it?
There was a puzzle where you had to untie a knot, and you had to pull on it in a specific order. And as a little child, I didn't know that somewhere else in the game there was a book that told you what order to pull them in. So I was just like pulling the corners of the knot in a random order till I like brute forced got it in the right order. Peter could have used his little cheat codes right there. Could have used the book. Cuts back to the feast table, where evidently off camera, Micky has tried the Bandito wine because he is now dancing on the table for no reason. But then because Dolan Smith is real, Mike grabs him by the Chewbacca bullet belt and like pulls him down to his face. Mike and Micky decide to go off and find the other two, and they come up to where Davy is still tied to the tree. And Peter pretends not to recognize them because Davy did it to him.
Yeah.
But like while they're trying to explain this, Micky goes, it's Micky and Mike. Like he mixed them up. Yeah. He forgot which one he was.
I forgot which one he was, yeah.
I guess this is why they tried to make Wool Hat a thing, because they do kind of have the same name.
Yeah. They really do.
Yeah. They're both nicknames for Michael. Mm-hmm. And that's neither of their first names, so they didn't need to do that.
Michael, that's not Mike's name?
Robert Michael Nesmith.
Okay.
Yeah. Robert.
What's Micky's name?
George Michael Dolans.
Oh, and they both went by their middle name.
Yeah.
That's
happened
weird.
To be Michael.
Well, Paul McCartney also goes by his middle name.
Yeah.
I guess it was just a common thing in the 60s to be like named after your dad, so you went by your middle name.
Okay.
Micky is able to untie Davy instantly, and they all run to the Monkeemobile.
Mike says, "Vámonos, amigos," which nobody understands.
At least that was real Spanish.
Yeah.
And nobody understands. He goes, means let's go, guys.
Did they not have to take like basic Spanish classes in like high school in like the 50s?
Don't think so.
The monkeys were not smart enough to pass.
I guess that's
I don't
true.
think it actually was a requirement.
Did you have to take Spanish in school?
And I did not have to take a language until high school.
Because we all had Spanish in elementary school.
Yeah. No, we did not. We did not take a language until high school, and then, yeah, that was it. And it was not it was a requirement, but.
Yeah. I'm kind of bad at Spanish. Like, we both lived in Spain. How much Spanish did you retain from that?
I wouldn't say, I didn't learn more Spanish, but I learned I should try my best with the Spanish that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all I got out of living in Spain was pronouncing hola with a, like, European accent.
Yeah, it was really more about confidence than knowing the language, if anything.
And they're gonna just talk to you in English the second they hear your accent, so why even bother?
I mean, I know, I don't speak any Spanish. I don't like to speak. Like, that's where I get stuck is speaking, but I can read Spanish.
Yeah, me too.
And and especially growing up in this area, like I've heard of Spanish my whole life, so I understand what's going on when they're Spanish. I might not be able to translate it word for word, but I get the gist of what they're saying.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that, like, as time has gone on, we've made more of an effort to have, like, basic, like, American citizen, like, children in elementary school learn Spanish so that we can, like, have better communication, because there's a lot of Spanish speakers that live here, So thank you for progress. So now that Davy is free, the monkeys run to their mobile, and they're confronted by the parking lot attendant who charges them 50 cents.
I meant to look up to see.
I did look him up.
Okay.
He is a Black American man who is not even attempting an accent.
No.
Is this the first Black character that's had lines on the show?
No, champ.
We had a couple.
The champ in the boxing episode.
Yeah, and then there was a detective.
Yeah.
Right.
Like way
so
back.
Long ago.
Yeah.
The diversity is sparse.
Yeah. This guy, it's very random. Micky says, "We are Mexican bandits," and then he says, "If you can be Mexican bandits, I can be a Mexican parking lot attendant." They run over his toes, and the scene is never spoken of again. I think they just liked this actor and wanted to put him in the show.
Right. I think he was great.
Yeah. So this is Godfrey Cambridge, he was a stand-up comedian and actor. Alongside Bill Cosby, Dick Gregory, and Nipsey Russell, he was acclaimed by Time in 1965 as one of the country's foremost celebrated Black comedians. I guess he was in...
Maybe
Is he like a guest star? Like a cameo?
I don't know. I guess he was in town and he wanted to be in it.
I wanted to look it up to see if I knew him from something.
I looked at his credits. I didn't recognize a lot, but he was in like the original Broadway cast of Pearly Victorious that Leslie Odom Jr. just did the revival of.
Okay.
So...
I mean, he looked somewhat familiar, but I wasn't placing where he was from. He was maybe I just seen him in something.
Yeah, maybe you were watching his stand-up specials. Well, he died in 1976, so maybe you weren't. But...
No, I'm saying like maybe he was in like Blazing Saddles, or you know what I mean. Maybe he had a part in a movie that I've seen a number of times.
I don't think so. I think he's just around.
Okay.
The monkeys push their car into town because it has run out of gas, and they try to buy gas from the mechanic, and then one of the bandits comes in and falls off his horse, and the mechanic says, I Chihuahua.
Did he? I don't
He
know.
surely did. He surely did. Which, okay. Who Treva, cut that out.
Treva, not a good look for one of our female writers.
Yeah. And this bandit gives Micky a note which says that he is challenging Micky specifically to a duel.
Yeah. El Diablo is.
Yeah, El Diablo is challenging El Delenzio to a duel. And so the monkeys try to leave town to avoid this, which leads to the best line read in the show.
But he's very scared and needs his daddy Mike.
Oh.
Because he's like, Mike!
Oh, yeah. But Angelita says, no, please, if you leave, he will punish the entire town. And then Micky says, baby, if I don't leave, you're gonna punish my entire body.
Is that a reference to something? No. What was that? He just did that?
I think maybe
I was like, surely that must be an impression.
Maybe it's his James Brown. I don't
Loki,
know. I don't know why he said it like that. It's really good. I kind of love it. Baby, if I don't leave, he's gonna punish my entire body. So in order to fight the bandits, the monkeys go into the bar and they dress like good white cowboys.
I said, yeah, he's dressed in white, so you know he's going to win.
Yeah. At least Mike, they're all like wearing like all white outfits, but Mike has a groovy shirt, at least. Yeah. It has, it's like, what's that fabric called? Suede.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, suede with like a bunch of tassels. And he continues to wear this shirt in other episodes, I think because he liked it, because that's his Texas style. And it matches his boots.
Yeah, they all have the suede boots.
Yeah. They strap a bunch of lucky guns on Micky, and they're like saying all the names of the guns, and then they say that some of the guns are Hobersiebers, because the Hobersiebers, the no time intro is one of their bits that they like to say, is that type of nonsense.
I think that comes up in another...
It comes up a ton.
Another episode.
Yeah.
No, like that. It's not,
what is a Hobosieber, guys? Why is this so funny to you?
Did you have anything about the fact that he says he's going to win because he's a lead in a television series?
I wrote they've become self-aware.
Yeah. The self-awareness increases as the show goes on. I believe from this point forward, at all times, they are fully aware that they're on TV at all times.
Right. The next episode starts off pretty meta.
Yeah. Davy says as like filler word improv a lot, I can dig it multiple times. And I love that they just talk like cartoon hippies. I think it's funny that they actually talk like that. It's high noon in the town. A donkey is there. Poor live animals. Davy love beads spotted. Davy has...
Yes, they're so cute.
Yes, Davy in season 2 usually wears this string of blue and white beads, which they sold as merch as well, although it was just his favorite necklace.
It's just something he actually wore.
Yeah.
Like, not even the character.
Yeah, he wore it a lot. A generic 1967 Davy Jones outfit is no shirt and love beads, is kind of how he was moving. And this is our first spotting of them, I believe. So we get to the duel of Micky and El Diablo.
When we start to see the duel, there's like a Western version of the theme song playing as the score. It's really funny.
And they do they do a shot of the holsters on Micky and El Diablo, which is just like a crotch shot of both of them.
It's for the girls. It's for the girls.
I was like, okay.
Well, we need to see it.
It's not for the children anymore.
It was never for the children.
Yeah, it's for the... It started for the children, but then they grew up real fast.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, El Diablo is a cheater. He starts shooting at 2 on the countdown. Right. But Micky doesn't care.
Right. Micky is fine.
Because he's bulletproof. He's just standing there smiling while he's being shot at.
And he manages to miss him at point blank range.
Yeah.
Does he miss him, or is Micky just indestructible?
I believe he's indestructible. Yeah. And then he's like, you missed, and he does a Mario jump and starts the rompage.
Yeah, and here's your romp.
Yeah. And in fact, they do not speak again in the episode because the song is the last part of the episode. And I realized this when I was like taking my notes because I had the transcript open and I was like, wait, that's it? So the whole episode is resolved over the course of our romp, which takes place to What Am I Doing Hanging Round, which is a song sung by Mike, composed by Michael Martin Murphy and Owens Castleman, then heading up the Lewis and Clark expedition, whose lone LP, like the Monkees, was issued on Coal Gems Records. This is a song off of Pack and J, which is their not an album that's out quite yet, but it's gonna be our next one. And in fact, actually, I just said Davy Shirtless Love Beads. There he is on the back of the record. His little. I like this album because you can see on the album art here, it's kind of that like that style of art that like people who can't draw would draw on their iPad, where they just trace a photograph and they make these like faceless portraits. That like 2010s. It's like
very like chuggy art style.
Yeah, they were ahead of their time in making that.
Looks like a coloring book. Yeah. Or a paint by number.
It's very like 2015 for something that exists in the 60s. So on this song, Mike is actually playing guitar, electric guitar, and there's an electric banjo by Doug Dillard. I don't know who that is, but he has a fun name, so we're going to credit him. And it's a thematically appropriate song about going down to Mexico and finding a girl and then ditching her, which is rude, but
because her boyfriend El Diablo.
Because her boyfriend El Diablo. But Mike is singing it, so does he want Angelita now too? I don't know.
Well, it's the most plot relevant out of almost any song we get in a romp.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So rompage footage. Most of this is the Monkees being bulletproof while being shot at.
But some of it is them in their wherever they filmed when they were supposed to be singing at the club.
Yeah. Singing the song and looking sweaty and sloppy. Yeah. Their 8-button shirts are all untucked. They're against this blank wall with like a Mexican blanket stuck in the corner. And they're all like have visible sweat on their faces.
Yes. Should I ask what was on Peter's face?
Now this is a good story.
Okay.
So what is on Peter's face is a little painted on flower because he's a hippie flower child. But the reason it's on his cheek right there is because before they shot this song and much of the Rainbow Room songs, the jork fight had occurred. Okay. So the jork fight was the instance in which Davy like headbutted Peter in the face and gave him like a bruise or a cut or something right there that you then had to cover up.
How did he headbutt him in the face?
He's short.
He's
just short right up.
His head is the only part.
You're not tall enough to reach even
Maybe he
face.
jumped.
Yeah, he can jump aggressively. He has strong jumping thighs. I find that amusing. So that is why Peter has a mark on his face.
It doesn't really look like a flower. I've seen it before.
No, it looks like
kind of looks like Marina and the Diamonds.
Yeah,
it looks like a tattoo.
Yeah, it's a little face paint.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be a flower. I don't know. But
it's there for it's there for a lot of
a lot of the Rainbow Room stuff that they all shot at the same time. They must have shot this after all the Rainbow Room stuff, and that's why they're so sweaty.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Also, they have Davy standing on something to be tall. And Micky is behind his drum set, but he keeps making gestures that would prevent him from playing the drums and crossing his eyes. More romp footage. The Monkees are on both sides of the shootout, shooting at themselves.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Davy is holding a copy of Sgt. Pepper's.
I did notice that.
I was wondering what that was.
I noticed. I don't know what it was like. This like blurry mush of like bright colors, and I was like, "Is that?" I paused it immediately. I went back. Yeah.
So Sgt. Pepper's had just released right before they shot this episode. I don't know why he's holding it in the episode. He's like, I'm gonna listen to this right after we're done with this shot.
Maybe it was product placement.
Shout out.
So Peter can't operate a cannon. He was trying to use a cannon.
He put toys in the cannon.
He put stuff in.
Why did he have toys?
Micky drops bullets on the ground. Davy makes out with Angelita.
Davy does horse stunts. You know he was having fun.
Oh, of course.
Davy can't get on a horse.
Yeah, Davy's horse stunt.
That is ridiculous. Davy's a horseman.
I know, but he's also the only one who can calm the horse enough to like kick it repeatedly while attempting to get on it in a comedy manner. So they make him do the horse stunt, I believe.
Okay. Davy and Micky walk up behind the banditos and shoot at themselves. Davy's holding an album. I have all this right there. Davy's playing guitar for Chiquita with round sunglasses on.
Davy cannot play guitar. I don't know what he's doing there.
And who was the Chiquita?
I didn't see that.
With sunglasses on.
Like, as in, like, a Chiquita banana lady?
Well, yeah, like a woman. Just a Chiquita.
Okay, she didn't have a Chiquita banana hat.
No, I was just calling her.
I would have noticed that.
I was just calling her a Chiquita.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't be doing that.
A Chiquita as opposed to the banditos.
But you see, like, this is what I was brought up on.
The cultural impact.
It is.
Okay, I'm sure that if this character was introduced, she would be Chiquita.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be her name, yes.
But they shoot the guitar that he's playing. Mm-hmm. Micky cannot operate a lasso.
He gets tangled in his lasso and then shoots it in anger.
Yeah. Micky and Mike get their hats blown off. Mm-hmm. Peter running around like a puppy being chased. I think he was doing something with his
little hands.
Davy dropped holster from... Davy drops the holster, and that's the shot they use in the opening.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he drops his pants.
Yeah, falls down. Peter shoots an arrow through El Gringo's head with no...
El Gringo?
That's what I have. What was his name?
El Diablo. Oh. You're El Gringo.
Okay. El Diablo. Yeah, I was tired at this point. El Diablo's head with no problem. Like Peter just shoots and it goes through his head. And then he's standing there.
They loosely tie up the still extremely armed villains. And there's like one shot of Davy and Angelita hugging. So I guess that means the plot is wrapped up and there are no loose ends or consequences in this generation. The episode is extremely resolved and nothing bad would happen to the monkeys after this. So we go into the new end theme. Pretty much all of my notes for every episode end with me just in all caps typing out the lyrics to the new closing theme because it's such a banger.
It's so refreshing to have a new closing theme.
Yes. So fun. Instead of just here we come again. So our closing theme, For Pete's Sake, which was named that by Mike, because Twerksmith is real, is a song by Peter, sung by Micky, and it was also written with buddy Joseph Richards. His buddy Joseph Richards, I don't really know who that is. It is a song on Headquarters. Headquarters being the album where the Monkees took control back and became real, by writing and playing all the songs themselves.
Playing their own instruments, proof they don't need to go and argue on the radio anymore.
They do write their own songs, and they do play their own instruments. And Peter has written quite a banger here with For Pete's Sake. In this generation, in this fucking generation, in this lovin' time, bitch, we must make the world shine. I love this song because the conservative mind cannot comprehend we were born to love one another. That is something we must be. And what we have to be is free. It's a very like hippie, flower child, summer of love type anthem, which kind of shows us the new direction the show is going in as the Monkees transform into cartoon hippies that they were always meant to be. And it features Peter on electric guitar, Mike on electric 12-string, Davy on tambourine, go Davy, producer Chip Douglas on bass, and Micky drumming. They made Micky drum on Headquarters even though he didn't know how to.
In character.
Yeah. Welcome back to season 2. We're here. We're Mexican. Monkey out.
Monkey out.
Gringo out. We hope you enjoyed that episode of the Monkeepod. You can follow us on Instagram and the website formerly known as Twitter at Monkeepod. It would be really cool if I could sing some song in Spanish right now, like a Bad Bunny song or something. But I do not listen to music that's not in English because I'm a culturally illiterate chud. Except for, I could sing like Billy La Bufanda, but I don't even remember how that goes because I wasn't paying attention in elementary school Spanish. So drop your recommendations for Spanish songs in the comments below, everybody. Bye!